Late-night isolation often feels like a byproduct of architecture. We assume that because the streets are empty and our doors are locked, we are alone. At 1:17 a.m., Michael's phone buzzed with a motion alert from his porch camera. He opened the app to find a live feed of an empty porch. There was no physical presence visible on the screen. The camera's digital motion box detached from the stairs. It hovered directly over his front door's threshold, as if something stood inches away. 3 minutes passed. The targeting box instantly reappeared inside the center of his living room. Michael lived alone. A digital security system acts as a witness. It provides a high-definition, time-stamped record of the exact moment a perimeter stops being a defense. In a moving vehicle, that perimeter is even smaller. At 2:41 a.m., a rideshare driver named Sarah picked up a man in a dark coat for a silent trip across the city. When she reached the destination, Sarah looked in the mirror to announce their arrival. The back seat was empty. The physical space was vacant, but the digital interface remained locked. According to the app, the passenger was still in the vehicle. The navigation system suddenly refreshed. It overrode the current drop-off and routed directly to Sarah's home. The software shifted its focus. The app was no longer tracking a fare to a destination. It was tracking the driver. In physics, the observer effect suggests that the act of looking at a system changes its state. In the quiet of the night, this principle takes on a physical weight. For 6 nights, 16-year-old Tyler heard a steady tapping on his bedroom window at 3:03 a.m. His room sat on the second floor, well above the reach of any passerby. On the 7th night, he chose to acknowledge it. He walked to the window and pulled back the curtain to look outside. The tapping stopped. Pressed against the exterior of the glass was a small, handwritten note addressed specifically to him. The window remained silent after that night, but every morning afterward, Tyler found fresh, muddy footprints in the carpet directly beneath his bed. Maintaining the barrier required Tyler to look away. The act of observation completed a circuit, providing the anomaly a path across the threshold. These anomalies can scale to fill an entire environment. At 4 a.m., a nurse walking through a neighborhood park saw a group of children playing on the swings. Despite the overhead streetlights, the children cast no shadows on the ground. When one of them turned toward her, its face was entirely featureless. The playground became static. Every figure froze in place, staring at her, while the empty swings began to move with a sudden, violent momentum. The mimicry of the playground failed the moment it was recognized. With an observer present, the environment stopped pretending to be normal. We rely on the physical barrier of a door to define our safety. At 2:58 a.m., Daniel heard 3 slow knocks at his apartment entrance. He checked the peephole. The hallway was empty. There was no one visible in the corridor. His phone vibrated with a notification from his hallway security camera. The feed showed a tall, elongated silhouette standing directly in front of his door. Daniel looked through the peephole again to find nothing but an empty hall. Then a second notification arrived, this time from the camera located inside his kitchen. Layering these defenses creates a comprehensive record of the intrusion. Daniel had 2 perspectives of the same door, one showing a vacant hall, and another showing what had already stepped inside. The common assumption is that the night is a simple absence of light. The events in these archives suggest the darkness is an active waiting state. It exists in the corners of a room and the blind spots of a camera feed, waiting for a moment of recognition. As you sit in the dark, you might feel the urge to check the corners of your room. But according to the observer effect, the safest thing you can do is never look.